Alabama listed as heavy favorite to win title in 2023. Scrolling down here, check these odds out. For January 9th championship, Alabama at 181, Ohio State 332, Georgia Bulldogs at 370. Who will win the 2023 college football playoff? By the TCR staff, different authors. This person's got Ohio State defeats Alabama. This author has Georgia beats Clemson. Here we have Alabama defeats Ohio State. And Ohio State defeats Alabama. Badass Buckeye here. No surprise Alabama is favorite to win. They're heavy odds. Those are pretty big odds if you ask me. Alabama's a great team with Bryce Young coming back. Possibly the best QB in college right now. Of course, they have Will Anderson, their great linebacker. Blitzen coming off the edge. Alabama's returning several different starters and also a few on offense. I expect Alabama to be a great team. Nick Saban was right, and he was misquoted. The quote is they were talking about how Nick Saban said it was a rebuilding year. What he said was it was kind of a rebuilding year. So he's a little bit misquoted on that. And he's correct. He's right on that because if you watched the LSU game last year and you watched the Auburn game last year, their offensive line struggled. And I was really shocked that they even made it to the playoffs, much less the championship. And they almost won it. It went to the fourth quarter. So Alabama proved that despite it was a rebuilding year last year, that their offensive line wasn't as great as usual. Those two games I just mentioned, they could have easily lost those games because they were tight games in the fourth quarter. They had the talent, obviously. They went on to the championship. It was Bryce Young's first year starting, and it was a rebuilding year for them, and they made it to the championship and almost won it and lost it at the end. So that just shows me that Alabama, even in a rebuilding year, is a great team. One of the reasons they're a great team every year is because their defensive line, they put pressure on the QB and they stop the run pretty well. And that's why they've been in playoffs every year a lot over the last decade, is because the talent on that defensive line. They have top five talent on that D line every year. And that's the whole key to making it to the playoffs, to being a great team. In my book, I'd rather build a great defensive line because you can just fill in the gaps with average or good players, and the rest will take care of itself. Of course, Georgia had the best defensive line last year, but Alabama's is right up there. Even with Alabama's weak offensive line last year, they made it to the championship. And a lot of that was because of Bryce Young, possibly the best QB in college right now. So I expect Alabama to be right back up there. I am kind of shocked that they have Ohio State odds at number 2 winning the championship. If you watch Ohio State last year, and including the Michigan game and the Oregon game where they just got ran over, got bulldozed over, is because their defensive line, D-line, was so weak in the middle and on the ends. And the linebackers, because the D-line was so bad, their linebackers were lost. They didn't know if they were going to the right, going to the left. They were all confused and shit. And it's because of that D-line. So Ohio State to have those kind of odds with that bad of a defense. That defense was bad the whole year. It wasn't just those two games, Michigan and Oregon. It was basically the whole game. Of course, they looked good against the cupcakes they play on their schedule, and Ohio State has the fair share of cupcakes, just like anyone else. But their D-line was one of the worst in all of college football. I expect Ohio State to be up there, but we need to pump the brakes because we don't know how well a defense line is going to be. If Alabama's really going to win it, then hell, there's no sense watching college football because we know the outcome. But that's why they play the game. We don't know who's even going to make it. And that's what's competitive. That's what's so exciting about it. But Alabama is favorite for a reason, heavily favorite, because they are a great team. Even in a last rebuilding year, they made it all the way. So no surprise that they're heavily favored. Of course, I'm an Ohio State fan, and I want my Buckeyes to do well, especially on defense. So we're going to see if their talent has improved at all. And will we see Ohio State, Alabama in the championship, maybe at Georgia? Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. If you get a chance, please like, because YouTube only shows your video. If you like, hit the like button. You have several likes. And if you're a Buckeye fan like me, please subscribe. I'll talk to you next time, and let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you.